Nutrimedical report, and just a continuation of hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It really is pretty amazing, actually, how it can work on the body. It reduces inflammation, stimulates your stem cells. It's one of the most powerful stimulants. You do not need to go to 3 atmosphere oxygen. I know there's some hyperbaric oxygen technicians and doctors that, they're used to the idea of 3 atmosphere oxygen. We've used it before. Higher levels of oxygen, by the way, you have to give antioxidants because 100% oxygen at 3 atmospheres is a free radical stimulant. It actually can stimulate free radicals. At 1.3 atmospheres, it's the opposite. In fact, the treatment for excessive high pressures, especially if you're diving at really deep or you've been in a chamber for a long time, like some of these underwater divers, is actually mild hyperbaric oxygen treatment. That's actually the treatment for the problem. So it really is amazing. Now, we've seen a reversal of things like autism, dementia, healing of wounds, post-operative, reversal of peripheral neuropathy, turning off autoimmune inflammation, improving the health of people with say, multiple sclerosis or post-traumatic spinal injuries. It's pretty darn amazing how well it heals. And if you combine it with the right nutraceuticals, now we have, as I say, cell and tissue DNA modulating peptides and other pharmanutraceuticals. These are, in a sense, a crossover between pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals, peptides and biological molecules that will actually speed tissue regeneration and healing. Those are available only on consultation, and if you do consult me, I can provide those as well. But we have a range, a combination of therapies that are inexpensive. You can do them at home. You don't go to a special clinic. You can completely master them at home, and there's no need for you to being concerned. So, that's the situation. So, what I want people to understand is that we have a situation where a lot of time people are told, well, I have to go through a very major expense. For example, when people want to do treatment for cancer, we tell them to take our nutraceuticals like Malignarest that stops the hexose monophosphate shunt, things to help to boost the repair of the DNA, ellagic acid, Malignablock, and full vitamin K2 with high-dose Power C, things to strip off the capsule of the tumor, such as the Inflamex and adaptogenic agents to return the tissue to normal cell defense, and Regenerex. Nutraceuticals to boost the immune system, Nutriimmune, immunoglobulins, and NutriDefense, which boosts the natural killer cell activity to fight tumors. We also have things like our MyCell D3, 1,000 units per drop and 5,000 per soft gel. Myco D2 that contains basically is oncomycin, help fight cancer. It also has Regenerex. It also has in it what's called the ergothioneine, the first peptide receptor is activated when stem cells heal and regenerate tissue. So I think it's pretty amazing how well these things work. So, you do not need to go to major expense. And by the way, I provide people documentation to write it off against their taxes, where it's now tax time roughly. And you need to know that none of your nutraceuticals should be, you should have to pay for them. You should be able to write them off against taxes, the same with your mild hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So it makes a huge difference in terms of healing. I want to touch on some of the other, news items that are going on now too. There's some articles out now that are trying to suggest that Donald Trump is persuading Republicans, but will lose to Hillary Clinton. Of course, if you look at the current polls, remember now they started with 17 people, so the total number of delegates that Trump has, he'd been started off with a giant list of people. I think when it goes one-on-one between Trump and Clinton, if the Republican Party starts to swing behind him, which needs to happen probably by June at the latest, that he's probably going to have a very good battle and will win over Hillary. If the Republican Party doesn't, it could become a squeaker. And that's not good, because the country under Hillary Clinton will have a catastrophe. So the latest news of Donald Trump's comments about Brussels, it's amazing to me that people, take it the wrong way. His comments are very straightforward. We need to control immigration. We need to know where these people are coming from. We need to stop immigration from Muslim countries until we can be certain these people are safe. We need to realize what's happening is a takeover of Europe that's promoted by globalists, and we have to understand that they want to do the same thing here with Obama. He's a very bad president, Obama. It's amazing to me that AIPAC apologized for Donald Trump's attack on President Obama. And when I listened to the entire speech, and I thought it was presidential, it was amazing. In fact, I'll close it off with a comment that his daughter was going to deliver a beautiful Jewish baby probably as early as while he was actually doing a speech on the same day. So, how can you cap off a speech? And also, when people make statements that he's racist or this, that, or people that belong to his organization or want to support him are like, extremists. Look, they can support him, but they don't change who he is. I mean, Donald Trump is a pragmatist. He's not a racist. He wants smart trade, not stopping free trade. He wants smart trade. He wants to get rid of things like Trans-Pacific and Transatlantic partnerships. If Trump gets in, it's going to make a whole different game here. We'll have borders. We'll have companies like Carrier and Ford that won't move all their plants overseas. It won't mean that there won't be plants built elsewhere, but it means that we'll have a fair system that can be more win-win rather than we lose, they win. Having a trade deficit of $558 billion per year with China is not rational. Not rational. Having the little China right next door of Mexico, where a lot of our plants are moving, including even Nabisco, moving their cracker plants, is insane. Where 25 years ago, we were not only self-sufficient, we actually had a national food storage areas where we had literally enough food for the entire population for 2 years plus. Now we don't have the storage. 20% of our food comes from other nations, and it's not necessarily secure or free of toxic pesticides or other things. In fact, in many of these countries, they still use leaded gasoline, so the leaded gasoline gets into things like chocolate, etc. So people say, well, how am I getting lead? I said, well, it's ambient in the population because of the lead particles still going around from the 60-plus years of use of lead in the leaded gasoline. But it's also because there's lead in the food because the tractors and the vehicles that actually collect it in these other third world countries are still using lead. So that's the latest on what's going on with the GOP. It looks like Hillary Clinton is beating Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders at least had some good ideas. He has certainly a lot more energy, but he doesn't have a concrete way like all these socialists and or communists to actually have an economy to pay for what they want. I mean, it's a dead end, in other words. What Trump wants to do is grow the economy so you have more benefits, more Medicare, Medicaid, no deductibles for poor people. Why would it have deductibles so they can't afford to pay? It just denies them health care, and it causes, death and destruction. And Trump's already claimed he's going to set up a system that allows competition to bring prices down. We need also move beyond that to where we actually have what I call health care centers and some kind of a transaction tax that can actually pay for health care, so it can be eventually, it'll take a number of years, but we can set up clinics which over time you can then contract the doctors, nurses, other health professionals to be working for these centers instead of a fee-for-service system, and then eventually that should grow and grow and grow. So more of the system is tied directly into this in a form of a transaction tax, like the government service tax in Canada. Healthcare should be a right. It should not be something where whether you're sick or elderly or have any health problems or you're poor, have decided. And you should also have enough time with your doctor. The idea of seeing a doctor for a matter of minutes is foolishness. So that's what's going on in that realm. In terms of Zika virus, the latest is the World Health Organization chief issues new warnings on the Zika virus ahead of the warning on mosquito-borne Zika virus, saying that the more we know, the worse things look in terms of Zika. It's spreading like crazy. And the microcephaly, what this basically is doing with the release of this new weaponized version of Zika, which has been around since 1947, is basically a form of population control, because women, it's not just going to be 2 years, it'll be much longer before they can return to having babies, or ever. So what I see is population control measures, and look at that article I've written. The most probable cause of why the Zika virus has changed is the release of the OXY513A gene complex that changed the host to cause oxidative stress and evolve the 15 base pairs of the Zika virus to make it. And welcome back. And of course, talking about Zika virus and the issues of wellness protection. Of course, we have Fukushima Daiichi. People want to know the top 2 or 3 things. First, the Nutridyne, which is the Tesla-activated iodine, which will displace radioiodine. very superior. Nutridefense has the most powerful antioxidant that boosts your immune system because it's suppressed by exposure to radiotoxins. And Keeler Max, that'll pull out the heavy metals, as well as our ultra-liquid zeolite. Keeler Max, 2 to 3 capsules twice a day. If you're trying to protect DNA, the combination of ellagic acid, malignant block, and full vitamin K2 will protect your DNA and repair it, speed repair. So all these are very, very powerful for protection against the radiotoxins. If you really want to do more advanced testing, I can refer you to actually get testing done through Dr. William Ray's clinic at the Environmental Health Center of Dallas, where they actually can take blood and do analysis of your radiotoxins in your blood. They also can do a breath analysis of your volatile hydrocarbons in your system. So there's a number of tests that are available. We also have available tests that you can actually do at home, where we can order the kits for you through places like labtestingdirect.com that can do blood, urine, and stool tests, etc. Genetic tests such as 23andMe and Prometheus. So we have a whole range of things that can help to identify what's wrong. The best technology, though, for you to have at home is a QRMA, because you can do the test in a minute, send it in with a wellness history, and boom, we can tell you exactly what your deficiencies are, what you need to take, along with your wellness history, what your likely weakness areas and your needs for rebalancing your body in order to be able to overcome illness. So that's pretty remarkable. I want to touch on some of the products that we sometimes don't talk about. We, of course, have the clearance products and the featured products. Our clearance products include Gastro Cleanse. It is Saccharomyces boulardii, the Gastro Cleanse, and Lactose Blocker. And, of course, these are amazing prices, so you can check out those. And we have special ordered featured products as well, where if you're going to order, we have sales, for example, for Allison Med, Brain Power, Sports Energy Light, the Collagen Max, Nutridefense, Nutriodine, and Power C Plus. So we can look at those sale prices. Those are available as well. When we look at our companies that supply, we call special foods for emergencies, PrepareWise and the Ready Store. Ready Store also supplies special containers for storing a lot of dried foods, medical and surgical equipment. Prepper Store, one of the best prepper stores, it's called the Ready Store and Emergency Supplies. PrepareWise is the Mylar bag system, which has the largest selection and the largest amount, which you're going to get for the money, of different foods with the best taste, etc. You get an amazing, and of course, it offers you a 5% savings if you use the code Dr. Bill, if you go to PrepareWise Foods. We have, of course, less EMF. We talked about the link directly to get the best technology for identifying electron pollution, ultraviolet and radioactive radiation, and protective equipment, things to block electromagnetic influences on not only your body, but also on your electronic equipment against EMP. We have the mild hyperbaric chambers, and they have now, through our link, we also have not only the medical chambers, but also pet chambers. So for your little pets, we actually have pet chambers as well. There's a link directly to Michelle's website, and we have a blog that will be coming on in the next few days, because there's been a lot of call for people to want to be able to blog on the website. That's coming. There's a link to Matthew Deagle, his website. He's got a show over at Rents from 12 to 1, Monday to Friday. He provides a lot of interesting services and symbology. In fact, if people are familiar with Jordan Maxwell, he's in fact, following the footsteps of Jordan Maxwell in terms of symbology, personal behavior, decisions, and things like that. Very, very useful. We have a link for Nutrimedical donations, and as we've said before, the donations aren't just to provide nutraceuticals for other people. It's big projects we want to do, such as this project with Dr. Ron Klatz for a wellness center. We already picked a location out in Ensenada, south of the border, in Mexico. And if we could put a wellness center there with all our advanced technologies, we would be able to have people fly into San Diego, go down to Ensenada, which is about 90 miles south of the border, and get at a fraction of the cost in America, amazing anti-aging wellness and age reversal technology. So that's already in the works, but we need the financing to start that whole project. We have VibraSlim, and of course it's the best whole body weight loss exercise toning, and I call it VibraFit. If you go to our link for, I think, $1,300, $1,299, you get not only the machine, but also 3-year warranty. It's modular. There's no shipping charge in the United States, although they will ship anywhere in the world. So you can be in Australia, New Zealand, whatever. We have always got sales on for Silver 100 in various quantities, too, including large amounts. There's always huge sales, like 15% off. QRMA, the bioplasm, the metapathia. The QRMA machine is a number of we call our bioplasmatic technologies. Quantitative resonant magnetic analysis, it's one of my favorites. The device, you just hold the electrode for a minute. It matches your electromagnetic bioplasmatic frequency spectra with a large database so it can determine what nutritional deficiencies are, what toxins, what organ functions happening. And when you combine that with a functional medicine history, which is very comprehensive, it includes a regular medical history plus alternative, surgical, etc., it's extremely helpful. And when I get information from people consulting and having a QRMA, and the QRMA report itself, which is separate from a consultation, if you get a QRMA machine for you and your family, immediate family, you get 2 consultations for each family member per year, free. That's no charge. So that's included in the QRMA machine. Now, if you're going to set it up as a business, then you have to charge for you doing the QRMA test. And the people that want to send a compressed file with their history, a short history, not the 11-page one we have. We can provide you with a short history. You can purchase a QRMA machine and do this. I would recommend you do this outside the United States. I would not recommend it in the United States right now, doing QRMA tests. But at some point, we may be able to change the healthcare menu so we don't have the suppression of technology. The QRMA test is done right now by health professionals. Pure water systems, 10% code. You're using the code Nutrimed. You can get a whole host system. I'm just changing and updating all my filters. Whole host system. The Bev 300 system, which is a 5-gallon reserve tank, pressurized, really amazing. Cleaner water than distilled, cleaner than any other system available, including the ceramic systems. Phone or wellness consults. These are available for anybody. You don't have to be an elite customer. Anybody can get a consult. I charge by time, depending on my time on analysis of reports on the phone, etc., to do that. We have the ozone and body detox technologies, ozone generators, plasma air filters, hydrogen anion body detoxification for weight loss, etc. Those are all available as well. And the ozone generators, I recommend strongly that you get one of our little ozone generators if you're going to get a mild hyperbaric chamber. Mountain Red Velvet. I'm in the process of trying to encapsulate it. I'm also working with several research facilities trying to make a surgical version of Mountain Red Velvet, but these are amazing things to heal your body and slow the aging process. When we come back, we'll talk about more of our protocols for wellness and open lines on any topic, 800-259-5791. Tomorrow, first hour, we will have Phyllis Schlafly. Have some amazing guests lined up for you the next few weeks. Top nutraceutical special packages. We have the Ageless Energized Vanilla. If you purchase that Ageless Energized Vanilla, you need to purchase a 6-pack. The same with the Calm Mind Flavorless 6-pack and our Glycemics Chocolate Mint 6-pack. Those are the only sizes available. Xenoestrogen Detox. We have a sale with a 3-pack. Remember now, when we go to our 7 for Heaven sale, which is coming up this Friday, you're going to actually get 7% off even our sale prices, plus free delivery, even if you just buy 1 bottle or 1 dropper of everything. Free shipping. Pretty amazing. Except international, of course, if you have international shipping. Now, the Xenoestrogen Detox is one of the best ways to pull out the xenotoxins. They're endocrine or hormone disruptors, cancer-inducing agents, and I usually recommend Xenoestrogen Detox, BioLVR, and NutriDefense as the 3 biggies. The next one to add is Sam-methyl, acetaminophen, because methylation is one of the main ways to get rid of heavy metals and biotoxins, and Life Support, which has phase 2 detox support. Vitamineral Max. This is the Albion chelated minerals, bioactive high absorption vitamins. It's twin, if you want to call it, is Minerals Plus. I recommend at least 1 capsule twice a day if you have serious health problems. We also have Vitamineral Max 3-pack specials, so you save money there, including if you buy a 3-pack and the sale, you save even more. Vision Max. Comprehensive anti-aging formula for your vision, but also it's the same formula for protecting the prostate against cancer. And I recommend that along with NutriDefense because the anhydrous catechins have been shown in research going over many years that all the men who are taking the adequate dosage we recommend for NutriDefense had no prostate cancer. So if you don't want to get prostate cancer, Vision Max and NutriDefense. Virus Protection Kit. We have, of course, the Nutriodine, Allicin Power C Silver 100. That's an amazing kit put together as well. The core Vein Away, and this is important for microcirculation for your eye, your kidneys, your blood vessels, your brain, your heart. Diosmin, it blocks varicose veins, spider nevi, etc. I usually recommend that along with Cardiovasc and the ellagic acid, Gamma E+, and Omega Supreme Krill with the astaxanthin. We have Uridine 300. Uridine 300 is a very important uridine 5 monophosphate. 300 is a very powerful brain memory booster along with CDP or cytidine, choline, and ultrathymine B1. This combination, we use in autism, we use it in dementia, we use it for memory boosting in students, along with Cognition Plus, 2 capsules twice a day, Brain Power, a capsule twice a day, at least. That's a starter. You may have to go higher if someone has dementia or some other problems neurologically, like autism or Asperger's syndrome. And the little brother of Cognition Plus is Synaptin, which a lot of people like to take even by itself. It's very inexpensive. Synaptin, 60 capsule bottle, even before the sale, is $24.95. We have 3 bottle specials for $70.85, and you'll save 7% on top of that if you purchase it during the sale. Swedish flower pollen. A lot of times people are given drugs to reduce bladder spasm and bladder control issues. Swedish flower pollen, 1 to 2 tablets 4 times a day. It will stop that problem, whether it's prostate or uterine or trigonitis, where there's inflammation of the bladder from things like ureaplasm, chronic candida, or other things like bladder stones, or gravel we call it. Supernox. This is the best stimulant for nitric oxide. Take it along with Cardiovasc, Gamma E+, ellagic acid, and Omega Supreme Krill and magnesium glycinate, and you're going to lower blood pressure, improve perfusion. Nitric oxide is very important for reversing sexual dysfunction if you have impotence. First thing to do is to take that protocol I just mentioned, add Men's Max 4 capsules in the morning, Hormone Synergy to prevent your male hormone from being diverted to female, add DHEA and pregnenolone, 2 to 3 pumps of the cream on the upper abdomen, lower chest, and your body will bioconvert to male hormone, and it will block it with the Hormone Synergy converting to female. Superfolate, this is the 1,000 micrograms of 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate that overcomes gene SNPs. 25% of the world population and 50% up to the Hispanic population have a gene SNP polymorphism, so they can't convert. So it's very important. Folic acid deficiency, and very important for reversing anemia, bone marrow function, detoxification, myelination, digestive enzymes. So many pathways are dependent on the folate donation. We also have sphingolin, which is myelin, basic protein. We use it in multiple sclerosis. We also use it in central and peripheral neuropathies, including dementia. We have Spelkes, and we're changing the name to the name of some of these nutraceuticals. It's an anxiolytic muscle relaxant. So it basically very powerful. Seroflozyme is a silkworm enzyme that is separate from like our Inflamex. Inflamex has the silkworm enzyme plus the Olwobenzyme N formula, 10 times more powerful. Seroflozyme, very, very inexpensive at breaking up scar tissue between tissues, carpal tunnel syndrome, interfascial adhesions, tendinitis, bursitis, that kind of thing. Very, very powerful, very inexpensive. Selenium cruciferate. This is you do not want to take other forms of selenium. I've talked to people that take selenium selenite and other forms. If you're trying to repair your glutathione peroxidase pathways, this is the form to take. Developed at Johns Hopkins Research Facility. It is a selenium based through cruciferous vegetables. Samethyl. This is the most powerful form of S-adenosyl-methionine in the world. No other competitor. It has 77% SS isomer, optical isomer, and it's important for methylation, for restoring digestive enzymes, myelination, detoxification of chemicals and heavy metals, reversal of depression, DNA methylation to protect your DNA from damage from dysmethylation causing cancer and autoimmune diseases. Very, very powerful formula. And the Samethyl, basically open up an S-adenosyl-methionine sachet, put it in powder under your tongue, it goes directly in your bloodstream to the target organs. Regenerex. This is a gene stimulant for the NRF2 pathway, gene superoxide dismutase and glutathione peroxidase. It's a very important gene activator, so 1 capsule will increase your genetic activation up to 42 hours. So I recommend a capsule twice a day. Recidival, this is the hair tonic for balding. And by the way, it works for males and females. Most females that are getting balding will often show male hormones if you do their saliva test. If you take Hormone Synergy to prevent conversion to male hormone in females, and residual hair tonic, and I usually recommend Collagen Max. You can add Mountain Red Velvet. You'll reverse the balding. Topically in the scalp also to reduce inflammation. If there's pityriasis, ovale, or some fungal infection, you'll see Silver 100, massage into the scalp was very helpful. And orally taking Allicin Med and Nutridyne will also help to get rid of any we call low-grade folliculitis, which often can trigger balding. Prostate flow. We have some very prominent people, I don't want to mention any names, that take our prostate flow. It's way more powerful than anything else out in the market. 1 or 2 soft gels twice a day, and your prostate's going to work fine. Benign prostatic swelling, and I recommend also the Vision Max, which is the same formula for prostate protection. Power-methyl B12. This is the most powerful activated form of B12, better than even the injectable forms because your body has to bioconvert it. When you put the orange-flavored little tablet under your tongue, you're getting a massive amount of vitamin B12, and it's already in a bioconverted form, and it tastes great. Power C Plus. This is the only vitamin C in a special salt form, calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium ascorbate, with a special black pepper extract bioperant to increase absorption by 40%. So, although it'll say 750 milligrams, it actually delivers 1,500 milligrams of per capsule of Power C. You can open them up and make it into a smoothie if you want to as well. So, Power C Plus, I usually take at least 2 in the morning. It's amazing. Posinol. We're going to make this name change to Mood Elevator. If you want to have your mood elevate, take Bio LVR and Posinol. And if you're really fatigued, we add Narival, which is acetyltyrosine. Posinol is great. It'll calm you down. It'll raise your mood. You just need like 1 little tiny soft gel 3 times a day. You might need to go to 2. If you're having sleep disturbances, you might take another one at night. And that works wonderfully with our with our melatonin TR. 1 milligrams immediate release, 4 milligrams slow release, which is neuro and protective and make you dream better. And take a little of our Indiamese before sleep too. That'll work wonderful for your mood elevation, along with Minerals Plus, all the minerals to convert your make your neurotransmitters to reverse your depression. So Posinol, Minerals Plus, amazing stuff. Bio LVR. Discussion that we had the other day about a lot of the process of aging. Aging in some ways is accelerated when you have it called diabetes or prediabetes. UCLA published a few weeks ago an article that says that 69% of adults over age 30 are pre-diabetic or diabetic. And what does diabetes? Well, a lot of people focus on the sugar, but actually sugar is a bystander. The primary problem with diabetes is the loss of the enzymes called superoxide dismutase in your blood vessels and your tissues. And when you lose free radicals, the best patch to grab the sugar is grab the free radical is sugar. When it does, it creates what's called a sugar that attaches to proteins, causes a thing called linking or cross-linking or glycation. You develop what's called advanced glycosylation end products. And these glycosylation end products can actually change the conformation of enzymes and proteins so they don't work as well. It also can form what's called RAGE or reactive, and those reactions form specific inflammatory molecules like leukotriene B4. The leukotriene B4 is what triggers off the changes in the leptin and insulin receptor so that the person gets more insulin resistant. So diabetes is actually triggered off primarily by a loss of SOD1 enzymes to get rid of free radicals. And the SOD1, of course, you help reverse with selenium perciferate, cell detox glutathione, and then one of our next nutraceuticals, Nutrimedical. Nutrimedical recycles your fat and water-soluble antioxidants to reduce free radical load. So you'll see your hemoglobin A1C drop, and it drops even before the blood sugar drops. Now, blood sugar is driven up by glucagon and by cortisol. If you want to modulate cortisol, you want to take things like our Calm Mind and Posinol, which will lower adrenal dysfunction, and Brain Mag, which rebalances the central nervous system and autonomic nervous system, reduce that sympathetic overdrive to the adrenals, and adrenal support, because the adrenal glands are basically overworking, and the curve of the release of cortisol, which counteracts insulin, because if your insulin's high, your cortisol is going to be high, and overnight your glucagon is going to be high because your liver will convert protein back to sugar through a thing called the 1-carbon pathway. Now, the important thing is when you take Nutrimedical, if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, your hemoglobin A1C will drop. And it takes 6 months for it to change because that's how long the hemoglobin molecules last. If you measure fructosamine, it'll change in 3 weeks. So if you want to do a blood test, it's more reactive to a change in your diet or, pharmaceutical nutraceuticals. And there's a few pharmaceuticals that actually won't raise insulin, like one of the older ones, glucophage, which will reduce glucagon. And there's now newer drugs now which reduce glucagon, but there's also nutraceuticals. For example, forskolin, Coleus forskolii help will convert white fat to brown fat and burn off calories. Leptin metabolic will reduce insulin and leptin resistance. And the use of lipoflush, which is conjugated linoleic acid, so very important. Phospholipids. We have the regenerating any solid organ, lungs, kidney, heart, liver. Nutrifos and Neurogen, given along with Minerals Plus and Copper Regenemax. Very important because 75% of your cell membranes are made of phospholipids. And we have, of course, specials for the Nutrifos. So if you're trying to regenerate your liver, let's say, and you've actually got your viral load down with our antipathogenics, so you're trying to prevent scarring with Inflamex and cell defense, you want to be on Nutrifos, Neurogen, Minerals Plus, and Copper Regenemax. Nutriodine, we mentioned this earlier. Very powerful monoatomic Tesla-activated iodine. Nutrimune, this is immunoglobulins, and immunoglobulins basically that are free of antigenic proteins for milk, but it is a very powerful stimulant of your immune system to coat your GI tract and your respiratory tract. NutriDefense, this blocks the viral replication, boosts your natural killer cells, blocks the Fenton reaction so you can't let viruses invade tissue planes or attach to tissue to the receptor binding domain because of the anhydrous catechin. So if you got the flu, you want to be on NutriDefense. If you're trying to block viruses like return or spread of herpes zoster, you want to be on our antipathogenics and NutriDefense. So it's one of our main things for protection against parasites, pathogens, and radiation as well. NutriComplete, this is the best veggies and fruit drink available. Amazing. Reds and greens, you want to mix it up. If you're mixing up a smoothie, I recommend Ageless and Life Support and NutriComplete. If you have blood sugar problems or trying to do weight loss, I use Glycemex. Neurogen, this is a DHA or docosahexaenoic acid. It's a very powerful blood vessel regenerator because you need docosahexaenoic acid. It actually remyelinates your nerve fibers in your brain, your peripheral nerves. DHA is very important for heart function. In fact, if you have DHA, it's going to significantly reduce heart disease because it protects the endothelial cell wall. So Neurogen, ellagic acid, omega-supreme krill, and Cardiovasc are very important for protecting your blood vessels. Neovasc, this is a special slow-release form of niacin, that B3 that will actually lower triglycerides. So if you have elevated triglycerides, you do not want to take a drug, you want to take Neovasc. Nattokinase, this is a vascular enzyme that reduces blood viscosity. Very powerful, very simple, and if you want to do a test to measure how effective it is, you don't do the typical blood test, which is a PTINR test. You measure a blood rheologics, and if you want to contact me by email, I can give you a link to have the kit sent to you so you and your doctor can have the blood done for a rheologic blood analysis. NADH, this is an anti-aging molecule. If you take this along with our D-ribose, which I'm renaming ATP energy, you can actually generate energy. The ATP energy along with the D-ribose is amazing. It literally converts directly to ATP. We have myco-D2, which is oncomycin. This is a special blend of high-potency vitamin D2 from mushrooms. It has ergothioneine to stimulate stem cells. It helps you fight cancer. It's very important for bone growth and regeneration, and your immune system function of your granulocytes that fight infection and cancer. So MyCell D3, myco-D2, I recommend you take both. Mitothyroid, this is the best formula of thyroid to actually reverse thyroid illness. Mitothyroid is usually if you have a low or normal T4 with low core body temperature, you want to be on mitothyroid. You want to take Nutriodine, selenium cruciferate, and Minerals Plus. I recommend also with thyroid, you usually will take adrenal support because adrenals are usually stressed if the thyroid is not working properly. Mitochondrial catalyst, this is an amazing formula for boosting mitochondrial function. Usually recommend you take that with uridine, which is a triacetyl uridine. Minerals Plus, this is going to elevate mood, detox, energy, and healing, and of tissues. Of course, I mentioned with the Nutrifos Neurogen. Microdose, this is going to help your body release your own growth hormone. 5 sprays, 6 sprays before exercise, bedtime, and first thing in the morning. I usually recommend to give the microdose along with taking Indiamese. Indiamese, which will super energize your mineral absorption. Men's Max, this releases your male hormone-bound hormone. You do not want to rush into taking hormone shots or creams or other things first. First is Men's Max, then Hormone Synergy, then DHEA and pregnenolone. And if you have to, you can take the Enhanced for Men, which will also increase your output of male hormone. Meniera, and this is we're renaming ear care. This is going to be for balance and tinnitus and for other problems with the middle ear. We will often give that along with the Cognition Plus and Neurogen. We have a men's pack with Men's Max, Enhanced for Men, and Supernox. So there's a men's pack, a special pack. And you get 2 of each. Pretty amazing. Melatonin time release. This is very important for protection of your eyes and brain, for sleep induction. You only heal when you're asleep. Melatonin time release, and we also have a 3-pack special. Very, very inexpensive as well. Mega Muscles, and you want to take this, you can take it away from, don't mix it into your drinks, but do mix it in if you want to with Sports Energy Light, Brain Mag, and Calm Mind, because you want to keep it away from other amino acids. But it's amazing. If you're building up muscles, for reversing cachectic muscle loss, for improving muscle building, if you're exercising and trying to build up your muscles, Mega Muscles amino acids is the most powerful amino acid combination available. And we have people actually that take that along with the Supernox and the microdose to increase growth hormone, and they don't need anything artificial. They don't get side effects, etc. Malignant Block, this is the answer to cancer. If you want to prevent cancer, Malignant Block is right up there. We will be back tomorrow with an amazing interview with Phyllis Schlafly of the Eagle Forum, hour number 1. And we're going to be doing another update with Tim, but basically we have some remarkable guests coming up in the next few days that you need to hear about, dealing with not only the Trump situation, the GOP, the international situation, post-Brussels attack, and the shutting down of a part of DIA. Our new technologies are available now, and as I said, we now have anti-aging consultations available with pharmaceutical peptides and other molecules for reverse aging that will substitute for a stem cell transplant you can do at home under my guidance. All of these things are now available, and we are looking for big donors to help our project with the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Back tomorrow.